Hi there, Colin from Moss End. I've made another purchase and it's a class 29, I think, and it's a bit ropey, and I'm going to do a little project on this. I'm going to try and do it up nice. It's a very early model Hornby and it's in a bit of a state. It's been, I think there's a soldering iron ding just there, and it's all a bit mucky and horrible, and I'm going to try and get it running better. It's a bit stuttery. Hang on, I'll try and, oh, it's a bit, oh, oh, there we go. Let's have a look where it is. Oh, I'm not. Oh, that's your lot, I think, for that. Now, when I was a lad, train spotting, this is the only locomotive I've never seen. I've seen all the others, all the early diesel hydraulics, all the rest of it in the green livery as well, and changing into the blue. But I've never seen one of these. I think they're called a Baby Deltic class 29. So I think it's an ugly little thing. It reminds me of a pug dog. It looks like it's run into a wall at each end. But I was just fascinated. This was very cheap. It's about 23 or 4 quid or something like that. And I knew it was a bit, how can we say, crappy, I suppose, but I just fancied having a look at it really, and having a go at doing it, service it, try and get it run nicely, and I want to give it a real filthy weathering, because I have seen people with these and they are really quite in a state, you know, and I really like that look, you know, so I thought I'd have a go. So I know it's not detailed, it's not all what these new models are like, but we've got to realise this is my era. I like all these old, it's nostalgic, but as I say, I've never seen one of these in my train spotting days as a kid. And another regret I've got is I've seen most of the westerns, and I've cabbed a few of them. I've been through the engine on one, but I've never seen my namesake, Western Warrior, and I was gutted because, well, years ago you didn't have all this information where trains were and all that. You had your Ian Allen train spotting book and, you know, some magazines that told you some bits and pieces and stuff, but it wasn't like it is today, you know. But as I say, that's my only two regrets: not seeing this one, and actually not seeing Western Warrior. And the more I look at this, the more it's growing on me. But I don't think it's very attractive. But I like the look of it when they're all messed up and chugging along, you know, real sort of, when, you know, real dirty, horrible things. But yeah, so I'll leave it there and I'll show you when I've done it. Okay, bye. Hi there. Right, the first stage is I put a coat of white oil paint and rubbed it off to give a faded look. I've got a bright light here, so it's difficult to see the colour, but it is faded, and this is before the weather. I've weathered the underframe because I've taken it apart and I've sorted out the motor. Well, I haven't run it yet. I've cleaned it up, oiled it and all the rest of it, so I'll have to see how that goes. And I've also detailed the front, so, and that's, now I've got to paint the surrounds on the front of the windows in a silver, and then I can start the weathering. This one I'm going to do without a spray gun, so it's all done by brush and washes and wiping off and stuff like that. So just to see the effects, because I'm curious myself, you know, because I've got on to the spray gun. I'm using the spray gun for everything, but as I say, I want to have a go with just brush and see the results. And also, people that haven't got a spray gun, you can still see the results of what you can do without one. Okay, this is step one. Hi there, back again. And I just finished the class 29, and I'll give you a little look at that. I've detailed the front and I've given it heavy weather after the paint fade, and I've given it a real good going over. So I think that looks quite nice. There's a driver inside, and I've done the motor. I just oiled it and cleaned it. There was quite a bit of oil put in there. I think these people that sell these, they squirt loads of oil in hoping it's going to sound better and all the rest of it, but it runs okay now. I've had a bit of a run in. I'll show you it going round. Oh, let's so it runs well, and I'm quite pleased how it's turned out. Oh, sorry about that. There you go. Let's slow that down a bit. Go on. But I'll pull it up now and I'll show you, that's it, what I've done to it. So, right, I cleaned it all up first with fairy liquid, washed it all because it was filthy. I took it apart, I dealt with the motor, cleaning it up and getting a look, because there's lots on the gears and it was everywhere. So I cleaned all that up and done that nicely and ran the thing in. Then I done the bogies with frame dirt and black, and there's rust on there, and there's a little bit of dark gloss on the springs to indicate oily water. There's petrol stains on the tank, and a little bit of dry brushing of metal on the steps there, just to, you know, because they're up and down all every day, you're going to have a little bit of metal, not a rusty bottom. So then I done all the panel lines on it and gave it a black wash, and I've streaked off bits that I wanted but I wanted it heavy, and there's also some track dirt and some powders on there, tractor and black and stuff like that. But as I say, I think it's turned out quite well, really. Now, what you've got to bear in mind, this is probably, I would have said, late 70s. Someone would probably be able to tell me, but it's a Hornby. But it didn't come in a box, and I got this very cheap. I think it was about 23 or 24 quid. And I mean, you've seen it go round. It goes round quite lovely. It's noisy, but that's what I like. I haven't got sound, but I like it if it makes a bit of noise. And I've detailed the front. I looked up online for pictures for inspiration, and there was this one that was quite filthy like this, and it's got lots of come on focus, rust spots on the front and things like that. I've had to paint the window shielding and various bits and pieces, but as I say, the fade is just coming through. I didn't want it sort of stupid because I knew I was going to weather it heavy, so I thought, well, I'll keep it quite fade, but I didn't worry if I lost a lot of it. Did you see what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so I think that's come up quite nice. Now for 25 quid or whatever it was, you can't complain at that. And it's pulling all that lot, and yeah, as I say, I'm well pleased. It's another one to my fleet, but I still think it's an ugly bugger. I know some people love these, but I mean, I just think that's but what I like, it's different, and because I haven't seen it in the flesh, I'm quite in awe of it, if you know what I'm trying to say, and yeah, so that's my attempt at a fade and a dirty old thing that's nearing the end of its life, so I hope it's been of help. But I have weathered things. I've shown you the tutorial, the spray. Oh, the most important thing I forgot to bloody say is this has not been sprayed. This is all done with the brush. There's not, the spray gun's not been out to this. It's all done by hand on the brush and with paint and weathering powders. With the fade, I used white oil paints, but you have to leave it for sort of a good 2 or 3 days. You do the fade first, rub it back, and it takes a while to dry. But this streaky effect is what I was after, and it looks pretty close to the picture I was following, but except for on that it had like some white, almost like a calcium coloured, dripping down the big fan vent there. It had like some streaks of white going down there. I don't know what the hell it was, but I didn't like it, so I didn't put it on. So there you are. That's my attempt. I'm trying to vary my videos, doing different bits and pieces and things, and if it's of help, say so. Give me a comment, or if you think it's not great, shit, whatever, please comment, because I mean, this is how you learn, and don't forget, when you look at other people's stuff, look at the comments, because it really does help you. There's lots of ideas and all sorts of things there, so in this community everyone's trying to help, and that's what I want to do. Okay, bye.